Welcome back to the channel, and as you can see, we have Alberto El Patron taking on Bobby Lashley. It's title versus title, and this is the Slammiversary main event for 2017. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this match is because of a tweet that I put out yesterday. I tweeted Dirty Dutch Mantell, asking him a question. I asked him, can you rebrand the belts with the new Impact logo? This must be on your radar, right? And the reason why I said it like that was because Dutch Mantell put out when he took over being head of creative at Impact Wrestling that he wanted to hear from the fans about anything that they had a concern about or something that they felt was not right with Impact Wrestling. And this, for me, this is something I feel is not right, because the branding of the Impact Wrestling Championships is all over the place. You have the World Heavyweight Championship that has the TNA branded logo on. You have the Grand Championship, which has the old Impact Wrestling logo on. And you have the Tag Team Championship, which once again has the TNA logo on. And considering the fact that this is now a brand that only goes by the name Impact Wrestling and only uses that term, TNA, according to this brand, is dead, you would expect that these championships would have the Impact branding all over it. But that's not the case at the moment. But Dirty Dutch Mantell actually gave me a response, and he replied, very short, very sweet, Slammiversary. So what I'm gathering from that is that the title versus title match, the one that you see right here against Bobby Lashley and Alberto El Patron, the winner potentially will get one belt, and that will be the Impact Wrestling Championship. Now, I could be wrong, and the GFW belts will be staying around, but I feel that the GFW belts kind of add a lot of confusion to Impact Wrestling. What is the major championship in the brand at the moment? Because that's what it's all about going into Slammiversary, and ultimately what I hope that they're looking to gain out of having champion versus champion is to have an undisputed champion, and they get that one singular belt. It's much the same when you look at the Women's Championship match. Rosemary, she holds the Knockouts Championship, and Sienna holds the GFW Women's Championship. Again, an opportunity here to bring both those belts together and make one. It makes perfect sense, and I'm very, very glad that Zeb Coulter, aka Dirty Dutch Mantell, actually responded to me and gave me an answer. It doesn't usually happen when you ask a question like this, and in fact, I kind of didn't expect an answer, because if they were going to do this, I'd expect it to be a big reveal, a huge deal, and I haven't actually seen this information put out there anywhere else yet. So maybe I just got an exclusive. But nevertheless, this is pretty cool. It's about time, because since Anthem took over the brand, they have done a great job of rebranding the product. Graphically, it looks so much better. They now have a set logo. I'm still confused with the GFW belts being in the fold, but that looks like it's going to be rectified with this championship alignment that's going ahead. And I feel that, you know, as a company, they are setting a standard for what they exactly want now. It's a lot more clear, and they seem to have a theme running through the show. So it's about wrestling, the brand is nice, and I actually feel for the first time that TNA, now known as Impact Wrestling, because in the TNA days they didn't, they actually have some direction. Now, whether or not you're a Hardy fan or not, and the broken gimmick still kind of, you know, riles you up a little bit. Who owns it, who doesn't. If we take that factor out for a second, and we just look at what Impact is moving towards now, it just looks like it's being moved towards a very straight wrestling product. Not so much the crazy broken side that Billy Corgan was going for. That was a little bit more out there, and I don't really see an issue with that. I'm not knocking the broken side because I actually loved the broken gimmick, and it is a shame that Matt Hardy isn't continuing it in the WWE, but we need to now see past that, and I think we need to, you know, let them put that to bed behind the scenes and focus on what actually is going on at Impact Wrestling, which is the fact that they are trying to run a wrestling company and they are branding it, and they're doing a lot of things that many wanted TNA to do originally. You know, they brought in new talent. That is all thanks to the fact that Jeff Jarrett had those ties with his GFW brand, and I actually feel the roster is pretty strong as well. So there is life after the Hardys for Impact Wrestling, and I think they are proving that. And albeit, like I said, the broken gimmick played a huge part, I still felt they were a bit lost as to what they wanted to be overall. Whereas now, I feel it's a lot more clear. They want to be a wrestling company, and they want to have titles that are branded correctly. And I feel that there is a direction coming from Anthem, and that's a lot more than what was being said before. So let me know what you think. I'm kind of taking this as it's breaking news because I haven't seen this be mentioned anywhere else, but the fact that Impact Wrestling is going to align their belts is very exciting. What will these championships look like? It's going to be good. Let me know what you think by the comment section below. I haven't seen this mentioned anywhere else just yet, but the fact that Dirty Dutch Mantel came back to me specifically and told me Slammiversary, I really wanted to cover it and let you guys know. Get involved in the conversation, and all that's left to be said from me, Delzinski. Please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski signing out.